One day.
One day. One day I pray.
One day.
Well, shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Halfway through the album. How you feeling?
I feel good. How
Yeah?
you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Especially wearing this Men in Black ass outfit. I feel very Secret Service. Makes me feel very like night mode, stealth coated.
Hell yeah. Especially when you put the shades on. It's like, damn.
And
Ninja
also,
Turtles.
I got the motherfucking Itachi on the back. So you already know I'll be feeling a lot, I'll be feeling really good about this session.
Got the Star Wars. We got the Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it up. Oh, you know what? Let me flip this around real quick. Boom, boom, boom.
I feel like when I'm wearing these shades that I can just be really nonchalant. No facial expressions, just... And people will look at me and be like, that guy's cool.
Yeah, you're just that cool, man. And then they like shine across like in the anime. Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff.
Yep. Date a Japanese girl. I pronounce shit Japanese now. Anime.
Look at this guy go.
We out here.
So yeah, you know what? Let's dive into this track 6. This song is called Something Isn't Right. And I feel like it's pretty straightforward with the title, you know? There's a feeling that Jordan is getting that is something isn't right.
Something is not right. Yeah. Well, you want to tell the people?
Kind of where this part of the story is going.
Yeah, what's not right?
All right, so one thing that I neglected to mention in the last song is that Omar also was kind of opening the idea of joining a gang. See, the people that he's affiliated with, be his cousins, his friends, things like that, people from growing up, they're affiliated with that lifestyle. And Omar hasn't fully gone into that lifestyle. He's just adjacent, but he wants to be a part of it. And he's trying to bring Jordan into it. And he's got ulterior motives for that. There's a bit of a confliction with Omar, being that he's kind of like a little brother. Jordan's kind of like a little brother to him, but also Omar's got a little bit of a vindictive nature to him as far as it goes with the falling out that he had with Jordan's brother Brian. So he's trying to bring him into the darker side of life, darker aspect. Jordan, being the good person that he is, declined outright. But Omar still has his sights on being inducted into this gang. So when we get to this track, it's pretty much showing what happened with Brian. He's injured himself. He's not at 100%. Jordan's going to go and get his sweatshirt from Omar's house. But then upon calling Omar, then there's a bit of an interaction between the three of them, because Brian still knows about the stash of money and getting the drugs and all this stuff. So Brian stops Jordan from going over to the house, and he's like, hey, I'm going to go confront him. Like, let me talk to him on the phone. And so they have a quick exchange, and then Brian goes off to have this confrontation with Omar. Now, they used to be really close friends from growing up, so even though Brian is apprehensive to go, he's still not feeling like something really bad is going to happen. But like the title of the song says, something isn't right. So when Brian shows up there, then things go wrong. And I don't want to spoil the entire song for you, but this is the point in which... I guess I could spoil the point. We're going to be dropping this after the song. Yeah, song's out already. So Brian's going to get jumped by Omar and his new friends or whatever. And it's going to result in Brian's death. Now, whether or not that is actually intentional, I kind of want to leave that up to the audience. But personally, as the person who wrote it, I want to leave some sliver of hope that Omar does have a good soul inside of him that's covered by all of this extra bullshit. So I'm going to say that Omar didn't intend to actually kill him, just jump him. But the result's the same. And so by the end of the song, Jordan is unaware of this fact, and it's going to lead into the next track. But this is all about, all right, the momentum of Jordan's choices has kept this person being Omar, close enough in his circle that Brian ends up becoming entangled in Jordan's activities and then becomes a victim to the dark path that Omar's on. which is also going to lead to a subsequent confrontation, of course, between Jordan and Omar, naturally. Now, when that confrontation happens, we'll go over it. But I really wanted to kind of hammer down the point that Omar's gone down this dark path. He's trying to take Jordan on this dark path. And after everything's said and done that happens to Brian, then basically the ball is in Jordan's court. Is he going to take a dark path or not? Hence, all the black. The last track we wore all gray. It's kind of leading up into things getting pretty much as bad as they can get, and that's track 6. Things are looking pretty grim.
Track 6, yep, looking grim. That's why we got the black on. At a funeral, brother.
Grim Reaper vibes. Yeah, at a funeral too, right? And so the recording process. Any fun facts or any sort of things you remember that stuck out to you?
Shoot, let's see. What do we got on this one? So, I think this one was one of those ones where we were recording. I was like, I don't think this is going to sound that good, to be honest. I was like, damn, like, I don't know how we're going to work this out. Like, because, when I originally made the beat, it was kind of like, I thought it was like more of a banger type beat, kind of. But then when I did, like, something kind of happened in Pro Tools to where when I imported the stems, it, like, kind of took, all the, like, spice out of it and bounce out of it. And I, like, forgot what this song was for a long time. And then, it just, like, was not sounding good for the longest time. Eventually, though, I realized that I was missing the proper stems.
Right.
So we got those in there, and then the song came back to life. So, recording process, I was worried from the start. We spent a shitload of time on this one. But it was really fun, like, working with you on this one and really building the song up. Like, this one is, so far, the most production heavy, for sure.
Right.
And we worked on that together, so that was pretty cool. Like, we really kind of added the climax to the song and all kinds of different things. But the way the song progresses, it feels like a story. So I thought that was cool.
Totally. I was always happy with what I wrote for the lyrics and the story, it all coming together or whatnot. But it didn't feel like a legitimate song for a good while, and I feel like that's probably kind of what you were feeling when it felt like it was missing some spice or a little bit of that bounce. And similarly, we just kind of had to like throw stuff at the wall and see what would stick to make it true to the song as well, because you don't want to just add too much stuff and there's too much cooks in the kitchen sort of thing, especially because this song is like it's dramatic, but it's also kind of laid back too, not as much as the previous song being Dark Days, but Something Isn't Right is also still kind of in that pocket where like the beat it's mellow for the most part, but then it kind of scales up when it hits the hook, and that's what is pretty cool about it too, because I feel like it gave me the opportunity to write everything out and then before heading into the hook, kind of like scaling things up, ramping them up. And then especially the last thing that I say prior to the final hook being, with Brian dying, that's a pretty heavy impact. So going from that kind of like more relaxed beat and then me scaling up with my voice into that beat dropping, I feel like that sounds really cool. Sounds really cool to me.
Yeah, it's like, I think you kind of had that vision from the start, and after a lot of working on it, now you and the beat are like doing this dance together where you're going up and then back down and then up again. So yeah, I thought that was cool. Like the way it all works together is like smooth. And yeah, it took a while to get there, but damn it, we got there.
Now when you say that a thing is missing some like spice, some bounce, maybe some swing, do you want to describe to the people watching kind of what you mean or ways that you go about improving a beat or adding things to it?
It's tough to describe, honestly, but this one is like, when we were listening back to it, I was just like, it's just like, it doesn't sound good. Like, even the beat doesn't sound good, and I used to like this beat, so like, what the hell's going on here? It literally took me like months, or maybe even like a year to like figure out that it was the wrong stems, to be honest. I'm like, why doesn't this sound good? Oh yeah, wrong stems. And then, yeah, after that, kind of once Michael just freaking drops his lyrics in there, his vocals, then yeah, you can just get in there, build it up, just overproduce it, honestly, and then you can always cut back later.
True.
But yeah, especially with the way that you were like ramping up towards the end of your verses it was fun to add production there just to kind of make it more exciting. And
Right,
then, of course,
right.
the climax and the hook too, where we got the most production of all.
Yeah, and we also got to be a little bit more creative with the end of the song too. Like the last two songs, or at least a couple of the songs leading up until this point, kind of had a cool like breakdown or outro at the end, and this one didn't have that. But it has a phone call where, we're able to use that phone call as kind of like a narrative piece too, where it's showing that Jordan has absolutely no idea what's going on, but he has his gut feeling that something isn't right. So he's calling Brian like, hey man, I don't think that you should go over there. But little does he know it's already too late. So I feel like that added a little bit of like emotional context to what's going to happen next.
Right. Absolutely. Now, recording this one, do you have any like memories, any challenges?
Mostly with timing, but that's really the whole album. But I feel
For
like in
sure.
this one too, it's just like you really want to be in those pockets because it's like older, 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 colder, colder, colder. So I really just wanted to make sure that everything fit where it's supposed to, because I was a little bit more kind of like flexible with the way that I wrapped it too. It's not very like by the book. And so I just needed to make sure that everything went exactly where I wanted it to go. And sometimes, like in my mind's eye, I know where I want it to be, but then in execution, I'm like, maybe I don't fucking know at all. And so, like, yeah, I was pretty much trying to get all that sorted out. And yeah, in terms of producing it, I think, kind of already answered the question along the lines of how do we get this from not really sounding that good into the way that it sounds now? And I guess that's what I remember the most about creating this song, especially because, like, I had in my mind that this song was also going to be very narrative heavy, and then that the hook was going to be not really a hook at all. And so I had to figure out where I wanted to put the singing parts. Did I want them to be just talking parts? Is that boring? It's a lot of like trial and error trying to figure out exactly the way that I want it to go. Because it could be really boring when I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. But when you listen to the song, you'll see that it's very simple, but that things are switched up. The placement of certain lines are in different places. And I recall listening to music throughout my life where somebody says a bunch of dope shit and then they just let the beat run. I really like that. It gives me this idea of like somebody's, writing something out and then they step back and they're like, let that sink in. You know what I mean? So I really wanted that to be a part of this song due to the heaviness of the like content. And I feel like we accomplished that. So that was good. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
Yeah.
Smooth, baby.
So moving into track 7. We're on the second half of the album.
Yeah, officially halfway there. That's crazy.
Why don't you tell the people about the way that you felt when we finally got to that point in recording and that point of just production of the project itself? You kind of get to this point where you're going up the hill and you still got a ways to go, but it's like, damn, I can't believe we're almost on the second half of the mountain.
I know, right? Yeah. I guess at this point we were smooth sailing. It's like, oh, nice, we made it to the halfway point. Hell yeah. We got our studio like down. So all our recordings are coming in pretty good, which is awesome. So yeah, at this point we had established really like our template and we're cruising along. And each song is kind of more exciting than the last too.
True. I love every... I'm sorry, I didn't
no,
mean to cut
you're
you
good.
off.
So it's like we're fully in there, yeah, I didn't really have anything to say.
I love every song on the album, but I really particularly feel like the song, like track, I don't know, what is it? Track 5 through like 9 or something like that, just has this really like sequential feel to it because it's really like chronologically they happen pretty much immediately after each other, whereas some of the different songs have like a little bit of time gaps in between them that we'll talk about as we get to those songs. But yeah, I really enjoy the way that everything ramps up, and going on into the next song, we'll get to see exactly what decisions are made and the repercussions of that. Something that I would say about getting to the second half of the album too is that this song, recording wise, even though I was talking about the difficulty of the timing and all of that, it still felt like it was just rap. Like it wasn't going to take much from me. Like there was going to be emotion that I had to convey But being that Jordan's not even present for the things that are happening, I didn't feel that there was. I felt like the lack of emotion was almost a storytelling device as well, because it's almost as if I'm just narrating it. It's not even just about like Jordan like retelling this thing. It's just matter of fact. This is what happened, and then in the next song you get heavy emotion. So I knew going from this track into the next one, even though it was kind of smooth sailing with the mixing and all of that stuff, that the next song was going to take a lot out of me, because I absolutely had to convey the emotion of what Jordan was going through, and all the repercussions for everything that he's been through and that he's done leading up until this point. So yeah, for me, I was kind of like, all right, that was good. And now the real test is the next song.
Yep. Yeah, dude. Because, yeah, we're kind of in, like, the dark part of the album now. So, yeah, you got to get in your storytelling bag.
I got to get in the storytelling bag, and I also got to, like, play the character, too, right? And so, the next one is where he finds out about what happened to Brian. He's dealing with those emotions. He's, like, I'm pretty sure... I mean, he's dead certain that he knows exactly who did it and why it happened and all that stuff. He doesn't have the proof, but he doesn't necessarily need it. You know what I mean? So all of these things are going through his head. He's not really using his head. And we'll get more into that when we get to track 7.
Damn right. Well, is that a wrap on Trap 6?
Trap 6, baby.
Trap 6, baby.
If you can't make it through Trap 1 through 5, Trap 6 is your spot.
Yep. Welcome to the trap.
Yeah, hell yeah, though. Yeah, I think we're good. Thank you guys so much for listening up to this point. We really are at the halfway point. So if you're still here from track 1, thank you so much. If you're just hopping on now, go listen to those other tracks, because they all tie in together. So
yep, listen to them in order, too. Starting at Vermilion, finish up with Something Isn't Right. And the story's just getting started, y'all. So stay tuned. And thanks for listening.
Appreciate you guys.